Welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Thanks so much for clicking. To my returning family, the Visionaries, thank you for your continuous love and support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please feel at home. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. As a passionate advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion, I'm very familiar with the topic of bias. In fact, I facilitate many workshops and trainings on this very topic. We all have bias, every one of us. It's when we have a thought, an idea, or opinion about a person or group of people that's based on our belief systems that we had growing up. It's usually painting somebody in an unfair light, and it can be very detrimental to many people and different communities of people. As I was doing my research, I scrolled through many videos and discovered that Julius Malema is one person that never tolerates bias. Whether he's talking with a journalist or somebody else that introduced bias, he has a great way of dealing with them. He lets them have their say, he stops them, puts them in their place, and then tells them the reality. I've compiled a series of clips of him doing just this. Let's watch them together and come back and analyze.
Owning this. It's not like I'm saying, let's go and take ESCOM out of the hands of the private sector. We are owning it already. So, and then South Africans have accepted and are happy with what
we're owning it already,
that's why that's why South Africans are saying, let's get proper people to go and run these institutions.
Are you the proper person?
I'm a proper guy.
I mean, I don't want to go too far back into history, but at various times you failed to actually file a tax return on time. Yeah. You've been accused of different financial offences. You've never been convicted, but some of those charges were never brought to court. But you tell South Africans, despite your own history, you are the guy to run their economy.
That's why. That's a mind of a lazy person who doesn't do his work. You will have to refer back to 15 years. I've grown up over a period of time, build a solid political party. The only thing you can keep on referring to is what you interviewed me about it 12 years ago. Get something new, my brother. Show a skill of a hard-working presenter who does his research. You can't falter me. Since I've made my mistakes on tax when I was very young, when I was almost 27 years old, fixed that problem. Today, I'm a 42-year-old married man with children who has taken responsibility and built a solid party to be the third largest party without the support of white monopoly capital and the owners of the South African economy. You keep on referring to old and old things because you are now beginning to sound like a scratched CD.
One could say that this is the pot calling the kettle black. You have, in many instances, been exposed by newspapers, not by Jacob Zuma, by newspapers, as living the high life, your Sandton house, the farms, the big cars, on a salary that was below 50,000 rand as an ANC Youth League president.
I'm a businessman. I'm in business.
I thought you received your money from charities, not
No, I'm in business. And scrutinizing salaries of people who are not in government, it must be very unethical of you. You can't be happy for people to parade your pay slip. Even the salary you are referring to is incorrect. So my salary has got nothing to do with you because I'm a private citizen who was working for a non-governmental organization. But I'm not your leader. I'm not your leader. Those that I lead will tell me how much do you earn, how do you make your living. Your salary, my salary. Has got nothing to do with you. In the same way, I will never ask you of your salary and how you make your money.
If you have influence over government entities and you're the leader of the African National, a leader of the African National Congress Youth League, surely it becomes germane.
You've never tested that influence. That's what you talk about with your friends over a bottle of something. It's an unfounded allegation of influence. You can't prove it.
My point to you is that your party, from what I understand, has received about 10% of the vote. As the way it stands no possibility of ever being elected into government. Do you currently run any municipalities, for example?
I'm going to be president of this country, whether you like it or not. Yes. And I will preside over the affairs of this country, including presiding over you. I think you must start adjusting to that reality. The sooner you do that, the less chest pains you'll have when that reality comes.
What chest pains would result?
Racist chest pains.
There is a senior member of the ANC, at least one of them who is in court, and I'm talking about Vincent Smith.
What is seniority about you in the ANC? I was in the ANC. Seniority means a person who serves in the executive committees of the ANC, or a person who serves in the cabinet, or is a leading figure in legislatures and parliament. This guy is not even a former of any of those things. And then you call him a senior person. It's bluffing again to create an impression that senior people are being arrested when there is no single.
Let me remind you.
There is no single. No, you can't remind me. You don't tell me you was a chairperson of a land committee, a chairperson of Busasa, that committee which.
I will remind you of a senior leader, or should we say former senior leader of the ANC, who's in jail right now, a whole leader of a party in the Northern Cape, John Block. He is in jail.
You know, he's not in jail, he's at home.
How do you know that?
He was released with corona. Duh.
I want to talk about VBS.
Yeah.
Philip Trutter is now sitting in jail, convicted, having admitted to crimes that he committed alongside his fellow executives at VBS. Not even a statement from the EFF to congratulate law enforcement. Surely that's a positive.
Why should we do that?
Why not?
We're not interested in what this chair has to say. We only issue statements on matters that we're interested in. We're not told
But
by...
you're interested in corruption.
No. The
You got Zuma to pay...
The VBS matter is receiving attention. The people are in court, and the man has confessed, and the matter will be concluded very soon. So every time someone starts singing, we must release a statement. No, we've released statements about VBS, and we're done with that matter. But one thing that you don't say, which you must be saying if you're neutral and objective journalism, which is something we dream about, is not there, you would be saying, fair enough to the EFF. The man does not even mention you anyway. Fair enough to the EFF, which has been...
I simply spoke about Philip.
No, I'm saying
unless
him, Philip.
Unless you're feeling that there's a question coming towards you.
I
haven't spoken about you.
Philip, the man who was at the center of this thing, makes concessions and confessions. He mentions no EFF leader. He mentions no EFF in those confessions. Who will say that?
I haven't caught
Why
sight
didn't
of those
you release a headline about that?
I haven't caught sight of
I didn't release a statement. Why is there no headline at the newsroom?
But you
that
tell me...
EFF is not implicated. The way we used to project it, that it is involved in VBS. Let me tell you, me and you can die and wake up again and live to the same age and die again. There will not be a single EFF person arrested for VBS. If there was, only you know how much these people were troubling them. Not only the government of the ANC, including the establishment. By now, they would have dealt with us, sent us to jail for a very long time. For sure, everybody who hates us in the corridors of power in the establishment, always says, but why is the EFF leaders not being arrested on VBS? There will never be, because there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. You can write graphs and even change the colors of the same graphs and project them as the new graphs. You will never find leaders of the EFF in VBS.
I am sick, and I'm actually seeking medical attention in Cuba.
Again, Polly, you like striking similarities where there is no such. How can you say, I'm not going to court because I'm going to work? Cabinet is a work of Pravi. And then compare that with a man who says, I'm in hospital. It has never happened. Such an excuse is not accepted in any court or before any judge. Those who are in hospital and can produce medical certificate, it is always accepted by court. But to say to court, I won't come because I'm going to work, and you say to me there is a similarity. I'll talk to the bosses of a newsroom when I finish.
Well, I just talk about similarities. Let's conclude this discussion around the Zondo Commission. If ever, for any reason, you are approached by that commission, would you respect and actually go and give whatever evidence is asked?
I will not even go with a lawyer. I'll go alone. We fought for that commission. When Zuma tried to prevent it, remember, we are the one who went to court and said, this report must be released. When the report was released, we said it must be enforced and this commission must take place. But since we are talking corruption, right? All the scandals of corruption, all of them, not a single one has got an EFF. In Mutaung report, which is the report of VBS, by the way, there is no EFF or EFF leader. No, you can want to jump anyhow you want, because the rest, I can tell you, they are leaders, not their younger brothers or wives or children. They are themselves there. Their names are there. VBS, Zondo Commission, Prasa, any scandal that you know of corruption in South Africa. All corruption scandals in South Africa, I want to repeat, not a single one of that scandal involves the EFF or any of the EFF leaders, but we are being projected as the most corrupt because the establishment doesn't like our politics. I'm saying, and I say this without any fear of contradiction, we are cruising nicely. We have no nightmares.
If you're cruising nicely,
let's go to Limpopo now, where there were scandals in Limpopo which almost involved us. In Zondo Commission today, there is no scandal of Limpopo, right? Not Castle Matala's government, which we're told we collapsed and stole from it. It's not in the Zondo Commission. But the Free State government, which was never dissolved, which was never put under administration, is the one that is swimming in Zondo Commission. Who's fooling who?
So, if you're cruising, as you say, Brian Shibambu, the brother of the deputy president of the EFF, how far is his case in trying to overturn or challenge the validity of claims made against him by the Matao report?
You're asking me about boys. I'm too senior for that. Ask me about boys.
Yeah, but those are direct.
I've been talking
to
you.
That's a direct link.
No, there's no
direct link to the EFF. By the way, this is a person who was an EFF member himself, Brian Shibambu.
No, he's a boy. He can be a member, he's a boy. He's not a leader. You're not going to reduce me to that and be asking me about members. I've been dealing with you here about leaders. So you are taking me to a boy because it's a desperation of wanting to drag the EFF into some scandal.
Not at all.
There are a lot of boys of the ANC, small boys of the ANC and DA and all types of things that are involved in one or two types of things. You never drag them because they are boys.
Because you have raised the conversation.
No, there's no EFF leader. There is no EFF in any scandal. You can go on with that desperation of yours of dragging boys. Bring real people here. Let me deal with them. Don't tell me about boys. So, I'm saying to you now, and I want you to put it here now, the way you're putting it to me, give me any EFF leader who's involved in corruption, not even found guilty, alleged. I'm giving you an example of Polokwane, where the NPA of Bato, your favorite, announced that it's going to charge Malema's people who are involved with Malema, but they can't charge Malema. Why? Because there's no such a thing. Every time they try use state institution to silence those they disagree with, I will never be silenced. All right. By these people. And they say no, they are direct benefits to Malema that come from VBS, which have not been declared in Parliament, right? Report that to Parliament and report that to the police. The same way Tony Ngeni did not declare his discount. If Malema got anything from VBS, take it to the police because he didn't declare it in Parliament. It's fraud.
Should South Africans care about the manner in which people who are accused of obscene crimes, because corruption has led to the people of the Free State who ought to have had their roofs, asbestos removed from their roofs, some of them dying, they're long dead as a result of corruption which prevented them from getting decent roofs. So why in the world South Africans care about the manner in which people who are accused of such crimes be treated?
Be careful what you ask for. South Africans should be concerned about the Constitution. South Africans should be concerned about the rights of our people. South Africans should be concerned about the dignity of each individual, even if accused of obscene crimes. We should be concerned, because you know what's going to happen? The beating is coming. Ask for it. Agree it's not you today. It's not your relative today that gets humiliated like that when they get arrested. What is going to come next is the beating. They're going to start beating them up, because at the newsroom we said we shouldn't be concerned about how they get arrested. They are going to be beaten. After the beating, the killing is going to be followed. It starts very small. You must see it as it comes. They will tell you in South Africa. I say them before they happen, because how they start, I can be in a position to project that this is where it is going. People are going to be beaten. People are going to be killed, because at the beginning, we said, why should we care? Care about the Constitution, care about the rights, care about the dignity. These people are going to go to jail anyway. It doesn't matter how they get arrested, but defend their dignity is very important.
What I love about Julius Malema is whether the bias is directed at him, the EFF and its ability, other groups of people, or at racism, he stays true to who he is. He stops them in their tracks, puts them in their place, and tells them the truth. He's passionate about many topics, and when the journalists brought up topics of corruption, such as the Zondo Commission, VPS, he talks about how no leaders of the EFF are corrupt in any way, but yet people who have biased opinions about the EFF have painted them in a corrupt way because they don't like the politics of the EFF. He said several times that if in fact there were leaders of the EFF that were corrupt, they would have been arrested and put into jail a long time ago. He also talked about the importance of not being silenced, that everybody, despite having their biases, has the right to say what they need to say. But the one clip that really resonated with me was the last clip, where he was asked if he felt that South Africans should care about the manner in which the accused of obscene crimes are handled. And he said something very profound. He said, South Africans should care about the Constitution, human rights, and dignity. And I thought this was really important. As a leader, he's looking at the big picture. He knows biases exist, but he also knows that bias can cause marginalization of groups, and this is not what he wants for South Africans. The great thing about us understanding that we all have bias is that we also have the power to change our biases, educating ourselves where our belief systems come in from. And Julius Malema sees this, and that's why he stops bias in its track, so we can learn and educate ourselves to correct these biases. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on how Julius Malema handles his bias, or biases that he's dealt with, and how you handle your biases, and how bias impacted you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have a conversation. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.